How we doing, everyone? Aaron from Doolittle Exotics, and today I have a very special video for you guys. We're going to take the Viper geckos and we're going to give them a whole new enclosure, brand new custom background, everything. I think I'm going to do a jungle theme, and it's going to be really, really cool. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. But today, here we are. We got them in the deli cup. Now this deli cup's been making me really mad because it's so bland, little Gatorade cap niched out. But man, when they're first starting to get eaten, it's kind of hard to get them on there. So I keep them in the deli cup when we first start so we can do this and make sure that they're eating properly and everything. But today, they're getting something brand new. It's gonna be so crazy. Let me know what you think. Next part we're doing in my yard, and we just got done with a lot of wind and a lot of rain here in California. But the best thing that I like to do, especially when doing custom enclosures, is take a walk around and see if there's anything naturalistic that I could be using. I love this right here. Look at how all of these vines just intertwine in between each other and everything. That's gonna look really good in there. I also like to just take a look around and make sure everything's good. You know, there's a lot of things like rocks and stuff that you could find inside your yard that you could use, and I would not, you know, people go to the pet store and they tend to splurge just a little bit too much, and you could just find the same things in your yard, honestly. All right, everybody, so what you're gonna want to do is take your gooders, right? I'm gonna take it from about right here. See that? We're just gonna snip these little guys off. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? Then what else I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a few right here. Get these all cut off. I like the way this one goes. Nice little curvature. The one thing you have to remember about these Viper geckos is they're not very arboreal species. They're more of a terrestrial, so they're gonna be spending a lot of time on the ground in rock crevices, which I'm gonna do a lot of. And they like to tend to stay away from the predators out there. A little tiny gecko, only about 3 to 4 inches. So once you see them, it's kind of insane. All right, everybody, so this is the enclosure that we're gonna use. It's an 8x8 Nano Exoterra, and I think it's perfect for these babies. So I'm gonna take some construction paper that I cut out, and I'm gonna lay it across this back wall right here. And the reason I'm doing this is because some people think it's all about the inside, when it's really not. You wanna be able to look on the outside and not just see a whole bunch of built up foam and look how nasty and stuff. So this black background, oh, it fell. So this black background will be perfect for just covering up that foam. Now I always like to start off with the back wall because this is the one that it's gonna be like your main looker. And I got this big thing of goodies right here from Little Tank to Humvee. And I think I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna stack them on top of these rocks, just like this. And the geckos can go in there, and I might not be able to get them out, but that's fine. I'm not gonna force them out of anywhere they don't wanna be forced out of. And what I'm gonna do is once I spray all the great stuff in there, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stack it just like that. And maybe I'm gonna put a couple plants around it and such, but this is gonna be really, really awesome jungle themed enclosure. Now, when I say that I'm gonna spray it with great stuff, I mean this right here. Great stuff, gaps, and cracks. This is non-toxic to any animal. And I would buy 2 cans if I were you, because these things have a tendency of not working. You can get a brand new bottle sealed with the plastic on it and everything, and it still won't work. So just get 2 just in case, so you can save yourself a trip later, keep the receipt. And we're gonna spray this all along the back, and then we're gonna throw a whole bunch of sand on it to make it look more naturalistic and blend in a lot more. Check this out. All right, one thing to remember with this great stuff is you're gonna wanna shake it really, really good. And that's what I've done. I've shook it for about 2 minutes straight. And you're gonna wanna use it about 75 degrees, nothing lower than 60, because then it tends to not work as well. So here we go. Kind of just go in and out. Move, expand in places. It looks ugly right now, but it's gonna look a hell of a lot better in a minute. Go. That should just about do it. We're gonna let it do its thing for a second. Take it, we'll run it through just like this. Get it all spread around nice and evenly. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this here thing, we're gonna put that right there. Then we're gonna take this and we're just gonna shove it right here. Right there, just like that. You see that? Okay, then I'm gonna take this right here. Let's start shoving this up in here. You have about 15 minutes to work with this stuff, so don't feel too rushed with it. It'll be fine. You're gonna wanna take stuff that you can kind of just lay down. See, we're gonna try to make a couple rock crevices and such here. Let's see, we'll stick something like this right there. Something like this right there. I like to make it look really naturalistic, so that's why I'm adding so much greenery. Especially if we're doing a jungle theme, this is gonna look really awesome. All right, couple more stones here and there. Don't forget, we're still gonna put some twigs and stuff in here, so I'm gonna leave a little bit of room. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the calcium sand. This calcium sand is non-toxic and it will not impact them. So here we go. We're gonna just sprinkle it all over this background, just like this. Try to get it, the more you get in there, the more it's gonna stick to this background. So you kinda wanna get it everywhere. Kinda wanna, there you go, just like this. I'm gonna get a little bit right there. Now this is gonna look really, really, really cool once we're done with it. Just leave that just like that. All right, everybody, so we let this sit for about 15 minutes. Now, before we put the animals in it, we are gonna be letting it cure overnight. So we'll just be hitting the sides and everything. But as far as it goes, once that 15 minutes hits and you think it's dry enough, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it and you're gonna shake all that extra sand off. We're just gonna shake all that extra sand off and see exactly how that looks. Now that don't look too bad. I think we're gonna be able to work with this. Oh yeah, they're gonna have a lot of little extra crevices and everything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take paint, I'm gonna take a gray paint and I'm gonna hit up all these little highlighted spots that you could see a lot of. Like this is gonna go with some gray paint. I'm gonna make it look exactly like these rocks and everything. It's gonna look really naturalistic and really awesome. Okay, everybody, so now that we got everything in, you're gonna wanna take this brush and you're gonna wanna hit it. All this stuff. We're hitting it with a non-toxic paint. It's just an acrylic paint. It's not gonna do anything. But you're gonna wanna come and you're gonna wanna stick it all up in these crevices right here. You're gonna wanna make it look like a rock background. And we're gonna do that probably through this whole thing, all the way on these sides right here. Look, just kind of take it, shove your brush up in there. Look at that, pretty cool, right? So then you come through, you kind of just do this. I only do it in the spots where it looks really, really bad, you know, where it kind of still looks like the foam. If you just do this all the way throughout it, you should come up with something really, really cool. And the cool thing about this is you don't only have to use this rock colored cover. You know, you could take a darker green. Here, let's take a darker green. Let's show you what the darker green does too. This is darker green and we'll just throw it right up in here. Look at that. Look at that, that looks pretty freaking cool. And when this dries, it's gonna look a lot better too, a million times better. So we're gonna take it, you know, I'll mix colors and then whatever, get her done, you know. The main thing is you don't want this stuff to look like that foam. Don't want it to look like that foam. In my opinion, I don't really like the way the foam looks. So once I'm done and I come through and I add all this little color touch-ups, then you start adding the hardscape, the landscape at the bottom and everything else, the twigs that they're gonna be crawling on. I think we're on a really good start right now, so let's catch up when I start adding those. So after we did all the painting and stuff, we ended up with this, which I think is completely awesome. Look at all these little rock crevices they have to hide in, all the green. Very, very nice. So now we're gonna start adding our hardscape. All right, so I have a couple special things that I'm gonna put in here. One, they always need a water bowl. Now this one is a little big for these babies, so I'm not gonna fill it all the way up. with water. I'll probably only put just a little dabble of water so we can find it. All right, and then we're gonna take these little tank right here. We didn't put little tank nowhere, so little tank's gonna go right up in here, if you ask me. Right in there, just like that. Wreckage. All right, now we're gonna take our cool looking stick. And the cool looking stick, like I said, they're not very arboreal, but they're still gonna use it, I could promise you. That's going up in there, just like that. And we have one more stick that I wanna throw up in here because it looks cool. And this one is gonna go, maybe we'll do it just like that. We'll intertwine them. Ooh, that looks really, really awesome. Look, they also have this little hide up here. Oh, that little hide up there. It's the little car that we put in earlier. So now that these twigs are all intertwined and such, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this rock right here and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna shove it up this corner piece right there. Let's see. We'll adjust our camera. All right, and what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna stick the rest of my rocks just kind of right here. Differently, see if I can't pick them up on little areas because they're gonna utilize this to hide in, I guarantee you. All right, I'm gonna take that, and I think that wraps it up. Check this thing out. This is awesome, especially for the little babies that we have going in it. This is gonna be absolutely perfect for them. How we doing, everybody? So it's the next day and we let our enclosure air out for about 10 to 15 hours. Now that seems to be enough to let all the paint dry and let all the fumes get out of there. Now before we put our little buddies in there, I am gonna give you guys just a few care tips. These geckos are from Pakistan, so they like it 75, 85 degrees, real warm weather. Now I only mist them about 2 to 3 times a week. I provide a little water bowl and that seems to be just fine for them. Now when it comes to food, I like to give them dwarf white isopods or pinhead crickets, especially when they're babies, just to get them started. And then once they get a little older, you can mix up their food, give them a little bit larger crickets or even some butterworms seems to be fine. All I gotta say was that was freaking awesome. Thank you guys for returning for this video. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, everything. TikTok, Doolittle Exotics. We appreciate your guys' views.